Hello. Once again, this is Law and Economics by Professor Han, and we are doing the contract law part. Uh, I wonder if you have noticed that we have just finished the first half of the class at the end of the last lecture, lecture 24. I think this is lecture 25. And because this semester is composed of 15 weeks, and the final week is for the final exam. Therefore, basically, the lecture would be for 14 week. And then we have just finished the 7th week, and now we are entering the 8th week of the semester. Therefore, we are right in the middle of the semester. Okay, we are entering the second half. I haven't expected this that the online lecture would go on this much, but the school already announced that it will continue at least until mid-May. In my calculation, that means at least 9 weeks would be online. So I'm gonna at least make 9 online classes, lectures, and my expectation probably more. So, I'm uncomfortable with that. You must be uncomfortable with that because you are taking this course by online. However, what would be more important than your health and my health? So, even though the learning is very important thing, and this online learning may not be as good as the classroom learning, but we should keep our health. So let's continue this way. And I heard some students even found out this online lecture might be better because they can take take the class over and over again until they fully understand it, which is not really possible in the classroom. Anyway, hope to meet you soon in the class or sometime in the class, at least in the final exam. And once again, if you have any questions, please write to me through the YSEC, or you can email me any way comfortable with you. If I review the last lecture, I did a little bit of detour by talking about the uncertainty and future and efficiency from them. And the reason is because this contract theory is dealing with future, which means the inefficiency caused by future riskiness and uncertainty can be at least partially solved by contract law. And that is why contract law is such an important law, especially concerned with the economic situation of the nation. Okay. You must remember the female and male game. I'm gonna introduce you exactly the same game, but more in the economic context. So this game is Enterprise by Two Friends game. I'm sure you have friends on the campus. I'll call them like Tom and Sam. There are two friends, Tom and Sam, taking law and economics in 2020 from Professor Han. And they know each other and things like that, but they graduated and they haven't met each other for a while. But maybe 20 years later, when they are 40 something, maybe 2045, at the alumni meeting, Tom and Sam meet each other. And they realize the changes there has been. Tom inherited some money or invested successfully something and got a little bit of lot of money. On the other hand, Sam developed his human capital a lot, and he have some superb technology, maybe invented something. So he can make a big profit. The only problem is Sam does not have money. On the other hand, Tom, because of the low interest rate, cannot find the proper place to invest his fortune. So, friend Tom, who has a lot of money, looking for a place to invest. Friend Sam, who has technology, ability to make money, but lacks the wealth. So they say, oh, we can work together. So now Tom gets 0 and Sam gets 0. If they work together, in total they can make how much? 20, 12 plus 8. But then I'll just assume they would divide the money in the ratio of 3 to 2. So 12 would go to Tom and 8 would go to Sam. That's how they promised each other. So Tom invests 30 and they work together. 30 is still there. In addition, Sam's work will increase the 30 to 50. So 30 will return to Tom. And the 20 created by Tom's money and Sam's technology together would be divided so that 12 would go to Tom, 8 would go to Sam. And they would both like it because it's strictly better than 0 and 0, 12 and 8. One catch, that is, when Tom has invested $30 to Sam, Sam promised to work, but he can run away somewhere with Tom's money. Then Tom would get 0, minus 30, because the whole investment would be gone, and Sam would get 30. What about the 20? Sam didn't work, he just ran. So the 20 would not be created, the sum would be 0. Same as here, just Sam ripped off Tom's money, 30. As we have looked at this game before, female and male, the marriage and runaway of the male. Here, Tom believed in Sam, and Sam probably would run away. We are assuming there is no policeman, no law, no contract law. Knowing that, even though Tom knows that Sam is his friend, almost surely Sam will run away with his money, and Tom is not stupid, so he said, no, sorry Sam, but there's no guarantee that you will run away and rip off my money. I'm not stupid. I like you, but I'm not stupid. Sam would be so sorry. No, I would never run away. I want to make 8. Through that way, you can make 12. If you only trust me, you can get 12 instead of 0. 8, I'll get 8 instead of 0. Let's go here. Not to mention, the Prophet Han says, from 0, 0 to 12, 8, that is Pareto improvement. That means efficiency. You got to do it. You know economics. Things like that. But once again, the game theory says backward induction. What backward induction? Sam, even though he promised to work, run away, give him 30, work, give him 8. Tom, thinking from future to current, present, backward, Sam would definitely run and get 30 instead work and get 8. So Tom says, I'll get negative 30. If you promise 12, I'm sure I'll get negative 30. So I prefer 0. Not investing. So Pareto improvement is not going to be achieved, which means inefficiency. Economists, especially game theorists, has a special word for this. Commitment. Commitment means promise that is impossible to breach. You have to keep the promise, otherwise something big happens. What can be a commitment? I always think about the movie Godfather. I don't know, your young generation people never watched it. But then Godfather is a story about mafia. And in the one of the first scene, they make an offer. So one way to do it and make a commitment. Here, Tom and Sam does not have commitment. Because if Sam can commit himself, Sam can have the strategic commitment. He would commit that I will definitely work no wrong. Then Tom would believe Sam's commitment, whatever it is, would invest and get 12. One way to do it concerning mafia is Tom and Sam call a mafia friends. Corleone, like in the money, Michael Corleone. And this Italian mafia Corleone, Mr. Corleone, don't do anything. He just participate in this business. And Sam and Tom give him some money. And the only thing the mafia Corleone would do is if Sam run away and catch him, kill him. That's what mafia can do best. Mafia can catch you and definitely kill you. Then we can say Sam effectively commit himself. Now Tom believe in this mafia assassination system so that Sam would never run because $30 is a lot of money, but definitely Sam would be killed by mafia. So Sam would never run away. He will definitely work because what can be more important than his life? So Tom and Sam can commit to work. If that kind of system exists, it would be so nice. I'm notorious for detouring, but actually that is one of the business mafia did. You usually think mafia made money by what? Gambling, prostitution, smuggling, and drugs. Yeah, but another thing mafia does is they guarantee the promise would be really happening. It's commitment. So, in a funny way, when mafia did that, they did improve the efficiency of the economy. But you should never deal with mafia. Then whom? The government kicks in, and they do what mafia would have done. So the government say, we are not going to kill you. We are the former government. But if Sam run away, we are going to definitely catch him, bring him back, and make him return the money to Tom, and make him go to jail. Maybe not as good as death, not as effective as killing him, but good enough so that Sam would never run away. That's what basically happening. So government play a role as a commitment so that Sam says to Tom, you may not believe me, but then you believe the Korean American government. If I run away with your money, they'll catch me and I'll go to jail. So you trust the government and the government rule, which is contract law. The contract law says people make promise each other. If one of them break it, then government fix it. So government would perform as a commitment. Okay, another detouring. Because after all, this is economics class and this is my class. I want to talk about whatever I think interesting and meaningful, useful to my student. So that is commitment problem, very notorious problem in economics. If you get a degree in economics, I hope you would know what commitment problem is. Think about the game. There's a civilian who wants to build his house at the riverside. What would be the good point of having a house at riverside? Great view, you know. The river is, flowing in front of your house. What can be better than that? Okay? And you can go there and play with the water and maybe catch some fish and things like that. People like it. And maybe taking a bath, swimming, things like that. What would be the problem? Flooding. In summer, lots of rain. The river would be flooded and your house would be flooded and you may die. In Korea, the monsoon season bring in the flooding every year, but European countries and America, there is no monsoon. The monsoon is only Asian thing. So it will be quite stable for a while. But even though you don't have a monsoon, every 20 years, 30 years, there would be a flooding and the house would be in danger. So what usually government does is, I forbid you to build a house at the riverside. And another thing, if you still build a house there and live there, what will happen? If there's a flooding, because you didn't obey the government rule, we are not going to rescue. No rescue. What will happen? All your things would be lost and probably you will die. So if the civilian does not build a house at the riverside, he will be 0, the first number. If he build it, and he would live happily 10, 20 years, but there would be a flooding and government does not rescue him, he will die or he will lose a fortune, almost die, so negative 50. This would be a strong warning enough. The civilian says, oh, I would not be rescued. So even though I want to build a house at the riverside, I will not build it. Is it true? Let's say the government forbade the civilian to build a house at the riverside, but the civilian stupid enough to build it. But then there was flooding. Government said, I told you I'm not going to rescue you. So on TV, this stupid civilian would die, even though the government can rescue him. What would be the response of the common people? And newspaper, TV, they will kill the president. Come on, whatever you have promised, however stupid the civilian may be, the government should be responsible for the life and wealth, so the government should rescue him. So it's very, very damaging. So government would probably rescue it. But then rescuing is a very costly business. If this thing happens, government has many emergency men, military men waiting for the flooding, and they have to spend a lot of money to rescue them. Of course, the civilian would be happy. So, would the civilian build a house at the riverside or not? The civilian is pretty sure whatever government say, I'm not going to rescue, they will rescue. So they will build a house at the riverside. Chances are for a while they live happily, enjoying the beautiful scenery, but when flooding comes, government will rescue them. So once again, the government cannot commit to the promise that it will not rescue it. Same thing in the financial crisis. The banks and investment people can invest in a risky business like subprime mortgage or something. The government said, if you invest stupidly, we are not gonna save you. Wall Street, if you don't invest smart enough, we are not gonna rescue. But from Wall Street point of view, if then they do not take the risk, they will not make money. If they take the risk, they make a lot of money, but then there's a small chance they will go bankrupt. But then government would let the Wall Street bankrupt or not, they have to rescue them. Because if the Wall Street bankrupted and government does not do anything, the president would be fired. Political suicide. Therefore, the civilian never believe the government, the financial Wall Street. They always invest in risky business. Government always have to rescue them. Sad story of finance and macroeconomics. But from the point of view of game theory and law and economics, very clear story. Okay. So, the commitment problem is all over. Especially the government has this problem. If the financial institute do high risk investment, as I said, the government will not help in the case of trouble. They say, all the time. So financial institute, banks and investment banks don't do the high risk investment. But because we will never help you, we'll let you bankrupt it. But they always help them. So we call it another commitment problem. So commitment problem of government is very, very serious problem. Many macroeconomists want to solve it. The reason is basically no one can punish the government. No one can say, government, you said you're not going to rescue the stupid civilian. But then you break your promise and rescue them. Don't do it. Who can order the government? No one. No one. So the government always break the law. Civilians can be punished by the government on the other hand. So the government cannot commit, but civilians can commit if the government forces it. So government can change their mind. Look at the politicians. But the government can force the individuals to abide by their promises. And that is the essence of contract law. Now we are studying. Okay. Probably the next topic, I'm gonna do it in a separate lecture at lecture 26. So this is the end of lecture 25, and we are gonna continue the contract law in lecture 26. And to sum it up, the point of lecture 25 is the commitment problem is big, and another way to look at the contract law is solving this commitment problem by the force of government and law. Thank you and see you soon.